An Apple Watch Kids edition? Yes, today I'm going to show you why your kids need an Apple Watch, all the benefits and secret features that make the Apple Watch a perfect accessory for your kids. So what you want to do to set up the Apple Watch for kids is simply set up your Apple Watch as you normally would, but instead of tapping set up for myself, you're going to tap set up for a family member right here in the bottom. And there you go, setting up family sharing. Once you've signed in, it's going to ask you, do you want to share this location with your kid? You're going to tap share your location, and then it's going to ask you to activate their cellular setup. You basically tap continue and then enable location services. If you want your kid to have access to Siri, you tap that. Do you want your kid to have messages access? You can enable that. You can also have access to all of your kids' health data. You can actually tap on this right here. Let's tap on share. You can also get notified for fall detection and crash detection, and even have your kid access to emergency SOS. You can also put your kid in emergency contact. You can also set up your medical ID for your kid. You can personalize fitness and health info. Do you want your kid to have activity rings? You can change the move goal, the stand, and all of that. Workout route tracking, contacts, and there you go. Welcome to Apple Watch. Now here's a quick hands-on with all the parental controls that you can actually customize to your kids' experience. Now we're gonna touch on all of them in this video, but the first thing that I wanted to show you is Schooltime Mode. So you can actually activate Schooltime Mode and actually create schedule modes to when this actually activates it. Now here's what Schooltime Mode will actually look like for your kid. It's literally just a watch face that you can't do anything. You can't even use your Apple Watch. You can't game, you can't text. It's just literally a watch that will tell you the time and the actual date. And if you actually want to deactivate Schooltime Mode, you simply hold down the digital crown and exit Schooltime Mode. And you as a parent will actually get notified, hey, your kid has just deactivated Schooltime Mode. Now the Apple Watch is an incredible device to actually communicate with each other, and obviously especially for kids. You can actually buy an Apple Watch with cellular, which means that your kid will still be able to receive notifications, receive phone calls, receive text messages, even without having an actual iPhone with them. Now you can actually text on an Apple Watch with a bunch of different ways. You've got Scribble, which you just write letter by letter what you want to say, and it will turn your scribble into an actual letter, performing an actual word. You've got dictation, which you simply use your voice and that will translate into text. And you can also use a standard voice memo. Your kids will also be able to call you without needing an actual iPhone, which is incredibly useful because maybe your kid is at swimming pool practice. They can actually call you without needing an actual iPhone. And talking about swimming pool practice, you've also got Find My, which basically helps you locate your kid. Using Apple Find My, you can also get notification on your personal iPhone that your kid has reached soccer practice, that your kid is officially at home. Or maybe you take a trip to Disney World and you lose your kid and you don't know where it is. Since you've got an Apple Watch, you can actually locate your kid, which is very useful for having peace of mind if you're a parent. And talking about safety, it's very cool because by simply holding on the actual digital crown, you can actually activate emergency calling. So this will call 911 for you. Just in case, just to have a peace of mind, having emergency calling right on your wrist can really save your life. There's obviously a lot of health and fitness features on the Apple Watch that also convert to kids. The activity rings make it a super playful way to understand your health better. You basically have 3 rings to close every single day. You've got red, which is the move goal, which helps you burn certain calories every single day. You've got the exercise, so you can exercise for 30 minutes or more or less to close that exercise ring. And then the last one is the stand, the blue one, which basically measures how much you stand once every hour. Now the activity rings are a phenomenal visual way to know how active you're actually being throughout your day. And kids shouldn't really understand hardcore metrics, but I feel like the activity rings are a great way for them to know, hey, you should get out and run, you should get out and play some soccer, you should get out in nature and just move instead of being with video games all day. I feel like the activity rings are a great way to motivate them without actually needing to. Kids can also track all of their workouts. So maybe they're at soccer practice, maybe they're at the swimming pool and they're curious on tracking their actual workouts, they can do that. You've also got heart rate monitoring, so you can know what your heart rate currently is. And the Apple Watch can also send you notifications if your heart rate is way too high or way too low, and it will alert you that something could happen. And this feature has been proven to save a lot of lives. Nothing should obviously be happening to your kid, but just once again, to having a peace of mind that everything is okay at all moments, you would also get notified if your kid is okay at all times. And then we get into sleep tracking. So you can actually know if your kid is sleeping well or not. And they can even understand that sleeping better is more important because you get so many insights on your body body, on your health in such a friendly interface. The activity rings is a perfect example for that, but for sleep. It is crucial for your kids to sleep well in order for them to perform well in school. It's proven that that's a thing. So for them, opening up the sleep app to know if they've slept well or not, it should improve their sleeping habits. Now, there's a lot more features that I wanted to mention that are crucial for students, but I feel like before we get into that, I feel like the obvious question that any parent asks itself, and even kids, is should you get them an iPhone or an Apple Watch? And I feel like depending on the age, and that's honestly up to you, the parent, what age your kids should have an iPhone. I feel like the Apple Watch is a perfect device that basically doesn't have social media, but you still have all that safety and health features for your kid. If you give your kid an iPhone, they'll have access to TikTok, they'll have access to Instagram. Now, obviously Apple offers parental controls, but it's still not the same. And I feel like the Apple Watch is a better device than the iPhone for specific ages. They won't be distracted by social media, they won't be able to surf anywhere online. And once again, they can still call, they can still text, and you can still have their location, which obviously helps with screen time. If you give an Apple Watch to your kid instead of an iPhone, the digital screen time that your kid will have in front of a screen will be so low. Because an Apple Watch is not something that you're using 24/7. With such a small display, it's not a device that you can game on. On the iPhone, there's gaming, kids love gaming, and separating both is a very good thing. With such a little device, they'll do what you want them to do. Make sure they're safe, make sure they're communicated, and then obviously you've got educational tools. Starting off with the Reminders app. Your kid will be able to add their homework instead of the Reminders app. Also the Calendar app, they can organize their schedule, asking Siri or doing it manually on the watch. Maybe they've got a field trip going on in school. Maybe you're going with a family somewhere and you want to have it all organized. When talking about Siri, it's great that it's on the watch. If they love sports, they can ask Siri for the recent sports game. They can ask for the weather. They can ask to call you. They can check the location. And the Apple Watch itself, as a device, it's durable, so they can be quite rough with it. And it's also quite customizable, making kids able to customize their bands if they want to switch it up. Same thing as the outfit, they can change up the band. They've also got tons of different watch faces to choose from. They can also add complications to those watch faces, so you can actually put yourself as a parent as a complication so they can quickly call you whenever they need to. Now, a secret feature that not a lot of people are familiar with is Schooltime Mode. Schooltime Mode is basically a mode on your Apple Watch that turns everything off, including notifications, everything, and it just turns it into a normal watch. And then whenever your kid deactivates that, you'll actually know the exact time that your kid actually unlocked it to actually focus in school. So the reason that most parents are giving their kids Apple Watches is because of a lot of reasons. It's way cheaper than the iPhone. It's always on them, being able to track them via their location at all times, just in case maybe you lose them at Disney World, for example, or on a trip. Having the peace of mind, they can always contact you as well. Digital screen time is way lower. If you've got a very young kid, the Apple Watch is simply the best option, and parents are extremely happy with the results. And most importantly, kids are very happy with the results. What age do you think today's kids should have iPhone or Apple Watch? Or do you think they should not have anything at all? Let me know in the comments, subscribe if you're new, and watch these videos that I'm sure you're gonna love if you're interested with the Apple Watch. Peace.